You are listening to the Yummy Mummy podcast, the best of series. What?
Welcome to the Yummy Mummy podcast, where you will learn brand new and shockingly different tools to lose weight for the last time. And now, here's your host, certified life and weight loss coach, Laura Conley.
Welcome to the show. You guys, are you excited? I am. So, we are releasing the best of series every Thursday from now until who knows when. So, without further ado, I want to give you one of the best episodes that we have ever recorded. Enjoy it. Let me know what you think. I can't wait to drop episodes to you every single week on Thursdays. Don't worry. The new content, the new Freshy Fresh will still be coming to you on Tuesdays. By the way, doors are open to the Yummy Mummy experience. So I want you to get in now, babes. Go to lauraconley.com, click work with me. You can also go to the show notes. The link is there. So if you're ready to lose weight for the last time, become free from food forever, pass down the legacy that you want to your children, and just live your best life. Seriously, you guys, this is it. It is time. It is 6 months of group coaching, which, by the way, is super powerful. You don't feel alone. You end up becoming really great friends with the other women inside the group. So it's group coaching, it's coursework, I should call it course fun, and a private community. And it's guaranteed. You either lose weight for the last time or your money back. And guess what, you guys? Now we have payment plans available. So you can get started for just $497 a month. So hurry up, get in. We're going to start January 17th, and we're really going to do this. Can you imagine? It's June 2024, and you're actually excited about going swimming with your kids. This is possible for you. I promise you, you're not a special unicorn. You can do this too. It's like all of my clients say, take the leap. You're just going to have to do it. You're going to have to feel the fear and do it anyways. And that's why I give you a money back guarantee. Borrow my belief in you and in this program and my ability to coach you to the finish line. Get in there, babes. And of course, if you have any questions, just email me, Laura at Laura Conley. We can even hop on a call. So I will see you inside. Enjoy this episode and have the best day ever.
Sara, welcome to the Yummy Mummy podcast. Just introduce yourself for us. Tell us a little bit.
Hi, thank you. So my name is Sara. I just finished, like Laura said, a round of the Yummy Mummy podcast, the Yummy Mummy experience.
And she's super excited to be on the podcast, guys.
Obviously my first podcast. Yeah. So about myself, I'm a mom of 6. I'm a foot zone practitioner. A foot zone is the same. It's kind of like reflexology, but it's just more, there's more pressure points you're hitting. It's like the same as acupuncture.
Oh, but I did not even know this. That's so cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about your background and your story in relationship to gaining and losing weight.
Okay. So that starts when I'm 9 years old. And when I'm 9 years old, I'm pretty sure I was probably going through a growth spurt or something. And you know how, like, as your kids, they just kind of gain a little bit of weight before they then stretch out, and then gain more weight before they stretch out. So I'm 9 and I gained some weight, and I hadn't noticed it. I didn't think anything of it. And I just remember my mom coming in and saying, "Hey, Sara, you started gaining some weight. So your dad and I have signed you up for Weight Watchers." So I didn't understand what this is. It's like, okay, we're going to go to Weight Watchers. And my mom is training. My mom was always just training. Yeah. And so I just remember this. We walk into Weight Watchers and all the women are fawning over my mom and just like, "Why are you here? You don't need to be here. You're so little." And my mom's like, "No, I'm here for my daughter." And I remember this moment of this collective, everyone looking at me and like, "Oh yeah, now we get why you're here." And so for me, this was all new. I didn't think I was overweight. I was still in the I'm loving my body phase of being a kid. So it was like, okay, I left Weight Watchers back then. It was a plan. In my mind, I remember seeing it looked like a calendar and this is what you eat. And so it was like half a piece of toast with a little bit of peanut butter. And like my lunch, like I'm in fourth grade. My lunch is like iceberg lettuce with a hard boiled egg and fat free dressing. And so, but in my little pleaser mind, I'm like, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to make my parents proud. And I'm going to do this. But then you go to school and it's like class party, so and so's birthday. So what do? I eat the cake. I have the cupcake. And then on the way walking home from school, oh my gosh, I shouldn't have done that. I'm not doing well. I want to lose this weight for my parents. And that is truly where everything started. And so from that, I ended up gaining more weight. And it felt like every few years or not even every few years, probably every year to every 2 years. I remember my mom coming in, Sarah, you're gaining weight. We're going to start this new thing. So it was Jenny Craig. It was Slim Fast. I don't remember what the diet was, but I remember it was called Diet Center. So I remember I'm now like 12. My mom takes me to the Diet Center. She tells me, hey, we got to figure this out, Sarah. I'm taking you to the Diet Center. So I remember I got on like my best clothes. I was going to show them how cute and pretty I am. I got on my most cute outfit, my 12-year-old cute outfit. It's like stripy. And I come in and the lady, the counselor, I'm not sure the background and training, but the lady I sat down with, she's trying to relate to me and be sympathetic to me. And what does she say? She says, I don't want to cry. I'm a crier. I'm a crier.
Oh my God, you guys, Sarah's gotten a reputation inside the Yummy Mommy experience. She makes everybody cry every single call. I'm already shedded a tear over here hearing the story because I never heard the story in this great of detail, which I love that you're giving me and us the detail because it's so profound, because this is exactly why we're doing what we're doing, is so that this stops, right?
Yeah.
12. So keep talking.
So, okay.
And I do cry and cry. But I'm sure we're going to cry at least 7 times on this podcast.
So I'm like in my best outfit. I feel so cute. I sit down and the lady is trying to be sympathetic to me. And she says, I bet you just want to look cute like all the other girls your age. I bet you just want to wear the clothes that they're wearing. And that like knife to the heart, like I felt really cute.
Yeah.
So it just, again, reinforces, Sarah, you need to be a certain weight to be beautiful. You need to be the certain weight to be worthy. This is like your...
I'm like, we're going to beat your internal validation that you already had out of you.
You're going to beat it out of you. Think about it. Taking this 9-year-old girl, think of 9-year-olds, how much they love their body. They put on their swimsuits, they're rolling around in the sand. They love... That's what we're all trying to get back to,
right? 100%. It's like our jobs as moms is like to just not screw them up. Like just let them keep going with what they already have innately, right?
Exactly. And so, I mean, from there, it was just honestly every year to 2 years. I've heard your client recently who was on Fen-Phen. Yeah, I did Fen-Phen. And Fen-Phen is crazy. I mean, it was seriously like we've approved. It was like you were a strung out drug addict. Like really, they gave you like you had 2 pills. Your first pill in the morning was this upper where you felt like you could conquer the world, like energy for days, and it shut off your hunger signal to your brain. So I was like going around, oh my gosh, getting all this stuff done. I'm not hungry. Like I was on a stuff for 6 weeks, not eating. Your nighttime pill is literally a downer to stop the morning pill just so you could get some
sleep, go to sleep. Yeah.
And I mean, I've done, the most hilarious ones were like, I was doing the cleanse, like any cleanse, whatever the cleanse was. There's the whole list of like health benefits, which I believe in. And it's like, yeah. You said you lost 10 pounds in 3 days. That's why I'm doing the cleanse.
Yeah. Like I know we all like, and this is what I think so much of diet culture it's turned into is like now we're masking, or they are masking like, oh, this is just for you to get healthy and you to just have wellness. And it's like, is it going to make me skinny or not? Because like, I don't care if I'm going to sleep well. I don't care if my heart's going to work. I don't care about any of that. All I care about is just being skinny. Like we're like, yeah.
The only thing I heard was 10 pounds in 3 days. Yeah. If we got juice. Or I did the one where you have cayenne pepper and honey and lemon for 10 days. Literally ended up in the hospital because it flared up my gallbladder. And so I just started having these gallbladder issues, like literally ended up in the hospital. And the whole reason was not for the cleansing, resetting your gut and all that stuff. It was like, I think I can lose a lot of weight on this. So
yeah, if I drink water, I'm pretty sure I'll lose weight.
Yes. So, I mean, that was literally from the time I was 9, trying to figure this out. I am going to show my parents I can do this. I'm going to get my worth back so that I can be the Sarah I want to be. When I'm this weight, then everything's going to be, the way I want it to be.
Yeah.
And whatever. So,
Oh my God. And then that cycle is just never ending. It's like the when then game. When I get this, then I get this. And like, I'm sure you just spent years and years trying to prove. And that energy is so exhausting.
it is. And this is what I came to the door of the Yummy Mummy experience with. 35 years of that thought pattern in my mind of like, you are not worthy until this happens. You don't know how to lose weight. Where's the next thing that I need to? I was like searching for the magic bean. And I'm like, where is the way that I need to be living my life to lose weight? And that's what I came with. It was so ingrained in me. Just all of the thought patterns, all of the like, oh, if I just do this, then I'm going to lose weight.
Yeah. And so what would you do? Like as an adult, you would do something like fen and you do it for 6 weeks. And then what would happen when you couldn't sustain it anymore?
Oh, so I mean, I'll tell you, my husband and I dropped $1,000 on Medifast, which is now Optavia. So that was one, literally paid $1,000. In the end, what I got out of it was 10 more pounds, like farther away from it. And so yeah. So what would happen? So let's say that I, whatever diet, pick whichever one, Jenny Craig, whatever that was, the minute that ended, I was like, bring on the food. I did it. I lost my 20 pounds. I did it. Where's the food? It was like in my mind, it was success. I made it here to the point where until I started the Yummy Mommy group, I would have told you that Medifast was a success. Because in my brain, I remember, I lost 20 pounds doing that.
Yeah.
However, my brain forgets that 20-pound loss was literally for a day. Like that morning that I weighed myself and had lost 20 pounds, I weighed that. And then I brought on the food, probably the next day, 3 pounds up.
Yeah.
4 days later, 10 pounds up, like truly not a success. And
we never look at like the big picture when we're talking about like keto or Medifast or Fen or Jenny Craig or whatever. It's like, the question is not, did it work for 6 weeks, right? The question is like, did it work? Is it going to work for life, right?
For life. And I will tell you this. So I just finished the first round of the Yummy Mummy. It was 3 months long, which, oh my gosh, I've been doing this for 3 months. And at the end of it, I'm not feeling like I've run this marathon. I'm like white knuckling it, getting to the end. It is done in such a way where I'm not mentally burnt out because I'm having to think of like what I'm going to eat next. How many points is this? How many calories is this? Oh my gosh, I ate this cupcake. So what if I skip dinner and then work out tonight and blah, blah, blah? Then I might be able to still lose weight on the scale. So the next morning, Yummy Mummy is finished. The next morning, I get up, I journal, meditate, weigh myself, and I literally keep going in that path. Just keep going.
Yeah. And if it had been Jenny Craig or whatever, you would have woken up and had like a bagel or a pancake.
You'd be like, I'm done. I am so done. I made it here. I white knuckled it. Willpower. My willpower is now all the way gone. Yeah. I made it as long as I possibly could. Now, bring on the food. I did it. Like in my mind, it was always, I did it. Now I get to just eat what I want.
Yeah, I know. It's so funny how we're like, oh yeah, I'm TV or Medifast. It totally worked. And you're like, I think that's what actually keeps some of us so in the yo-yo is because we're like giving so much credit to these other things that don't actually work. When we look at, like I'm saying, the big picture, it's like, no, it doesn't actually work. My brain used to be like, oh, I know, we'll just go back to doing that one thing that worked. It's like, no, Laura, that one thing didn't work if you want to lose weight for the last time.
Yeah. The ultimate would work is if you weren't in the same position looking for a way to lose weight.
Yeah.
Like for this, I feel it so strongly. This is it. Like when you say lose weight for the last time, that is exactly what's happening in my life right now. This is the last time. Like I am never going to have to go buy the book for the thing, do the grocery list for like the new way of eating. Tell everybody, oh, this is how I'm eating now. Watch out. This is what's happening. Or even like my husband and I, we have Friday night date nights. And it was always kind of annoying the new thing I was on. And I would just like, oh, we can't go to this restaurant because of this. Or actually, it got to where I just was like, you know what? Well, I'm first starting this thing for the next 4 weeks. I don't want to go out to dinner with you because I don't want to have that be an issue. And for me. And now it's just like, when we do our Friday night date nights, it's kind of like, hey, what are you feeling like? I can find whatever. I'm so confident that I can eat the way I want to eat. Or, hey, I'm going to make it a joy eat. I've just been able to live my life. Like this is fitting into my life. I'm not changing all crazy to have this way of eating fit into my life.
Right? Like Mummy is like supposed to serve you. Like I always say that, like right at the beginning, like the Yummy Mummy is supposed to serve you versus like you serving it, like you being literally like a servant or a slave to it. And it's the opposite. It's there to like help you create a bigger, better life. So would you just like not go on date night for those 4 weeks?
I wouldn't. Like, honestly, I would be like, mentally, I don't want to deal with either sitting there while you're eating all the stuff that you want to eat and like never gaining weight. And like,
yeah.
And
my husband is too.
Yes. And then me just having like, okay, maybe I'll have some club soda, like not being able to find something that works because it needed to fit in this super narrow way of eating. Yeah. So I just wouldn't.
Fascinating. That's so cool. It's so interesting how when we stay in that yo-yo cycle, we risk other areas of our lives, like our relationships. Like I know I did that same exact thing with my husband when he was my boyfriend, right? And it's like you're putting your relationship on the line because you're just so desperate to solve this thing that seems unsolvable unless you turn into a crazy person. And that's just like, it's just not a way to live your life. So I'm so excited for you.
I know.
That's so awesome. Okay. So tell us how much weight you lost.
So I lost 24 pounds in a summer where like we went on this crazy RV trip. We're not total RVers. We decided to throw all of our kids into an RV. For 5 weeks, we were on this trip. So I was doing.
Oh my God, that even makes me want to eat. I don't do that anymore. But that is like bringing up all the things. That's a huge opportunity.
A bunch of teenagers all in the same, all in the same car. And literally, so we had this trip planned like 6 months before it happened. It was way before I even came across you, knew about this amazing experience. Literally in my mind, it was like, you know what? I'm just going to gain 10 pounds on this trip. I know I'm just going to gain 10 pounds. I'm going to be fine with it. We're going to be in the car so long. It's just going to happen. And I've like really had come to terms with like, this is what's going to happen. It's going to be okay, whatever. How can I go on an RV trip and not gain weight? And what happened was I went on this trip and came home and I had lost weight. I had lost weight, which was like, what? And I was still like enjoying myself. I was enjoying myself. Like if it was a stop, we went on this one stop where it was like, homemade frozen custard. Great. I'm going to have some, like I did not feel deprived. And because this, like you said, your protocol is there to serve you.
Yeah.
It was very easy for me to be able to find the things that I love and eat within my protocol and lose weight. Also, though, what I had during that time was we had Wi-Fi in our big RV. I was able to still tune in. So I had the daily check-ins with everyone, having that support, then the Zoom calls during the week. So that absolutely helped me feel supported and stay focused. And what I loved about the group too, is if you had a day where you feel like you've messed up or whatever, we met so many times in a week that reset was so fast. Or I would even just start talking about it. And so many of the other Yummy Mummies would just encourage you. And the reset was so fast.
Yeah. It wasn't like Monday morning. You didn't have to wait till Monday morning, right? It could be moment.
Monday morning. And it also, because I hadn't been starving myself, it wasn't hard to just say, hey, I'm just going to move forward, keep eating on my protocol. It wasn't, I had been so restricted.
Mhm.
And then I ate, the ice cream that, it just, when you're so restricted, the one thing that you feel like, oh my gosh, I've blown it, which you really haven't,
Yeah.
it turned into just like a days, weeks,
Yes.
months because you've been so confined.
Yes. So we're over restricted. And then you just like, you cannot handle that over restriction at some point and you just overeat like a crazy person.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool. Say a little bit more about the group dynamic because I know that some people are hesitant like coming into the group and it ends up being everyone's favorite part of the Yummy Mummy in the
Oh
end.
my gosh. It's absolutely one of my favorite things. Like, so I remember on our last call and we're just kind of all just talking about our experience. And I remember one of the ladies said it so perfectly. She just said how before coming to this group, she felt like she was the only one who was really struggling with this. And she felt like she was the only one who had these same thoughts about themselves. And then you get in this group and you, first of all, it's very easy for me to see how amazing, how beautiful these women are. And you're like, wait, what? You're struggling with this too? I've been struggling with this my whole life. And you have this, like, you found your people. I loved being able to read through. It's your choice if you want to put your weight. It's your choice if you want to put kind of how you've eaten, your thoughts around eating, if you felt like you'd overeaten. And gosh, the women who put that on there, it helped me so much. I would scroll through their stuff and just seeing their thought on what they had when they ate something they felt like they shouldn't. And then their kind of loving correction of just like, here's how I should be thinking about this. And I could take that in. I could take that thought. I borrowed so many of their thoughts.
That's literally why, right? It's like, I want all those thoughts in there so we can all be exchanging and borrowing the thoughts. So what's like an example of that?
Borrowing a thought from somebody. Gosh, one of the Yummy Mummies said it the other day. I'm like, I am taking this. I mean, I could find it on. I remember somebody was cleaning out their closet. And when you clean out your closet, you're trying to go through your clothes and get rid of all the big clothes, the clothes that you feel big. So you're kind of only looking at sizes. And she was really stressed about it. And she was like, you know what? I'm just gonna just keep the clothes that I love. Who cares what the size is? It fits me well. I love it now. That really helped me when I went to go clean out my closet. Like, I'm not going to worry about that. Well, this is still a little bit bigger size. I actually think it fits great. Sizes are so, you go to one store and you're like, in another store, you're
So arbitrary.
They are so arbitrary. Or I remember another Yummy Mummy, her confidence, like in herself, was contagious. It was so contagious. Feeling that from the way she was writing about herself was like, I want to be like that.
Yeah.
And you borrow it from them for a little bit until it's like, I am that confident now.
Yes, that is so exactly why I do it in a group because it's just, we get so much farther.
Power in numbers. Like, this really is women who, like, we've all been struggling with this same beating ourselves up for years and years. And it didn't matter what size anybody was. We were all in our heads about it. And gosh, going through the group and helping unlock that, it's amazing.
Oh, I love it. Congratulations on your success. I mean, you're
Thank you.
like
Honestly,
23 pounds in like 3 months. That's so good. And I know you're really excited about the actual weight, but you're also excited about like some of the unexpected benefits that you got too. Yeah.
oh my gosh. So finding my self-worth. So, okay, I'm going to tell a story. I got to give a little bit of background, but it just
Tell us. Yeah. Take your time.
show like what I gained from this aside from the weight loss. So my family, we've had this lake house forever. It's been in my family since before we were born. We go there every single year. And about 5 or 6 years ago, my brother said, hey, I found some like VHS tapes of all of us at the lake house. So we're all there. Hey, let's throw them in. Let's watch them. So the first tape starts. I'm 8 years old. I am obviously feeling so cute in my swimsuit. I am like running around in the sand, playing in the water, genuinely enjoying the moment, knowing I'm worthy to be there and just obviously just feeling great about myself. Then literally the tape cuts to 2 years later. It cuts to 2 years later and I am obviously heavier and I am wearing like a shirt, a huge oversized shirt, like a cotton shirt over my swimsuit. It's all wet, the sand's on it. It's obviously not comfortable, but the body shaming that was already present. So seeing those two clips, one after another, it was like the contrast, it hit me of just, I could see my body hating, oh my gosh, sorry, everyone around me. I'm going to way cover up my body so nobody has to see, like in my mind, this is what I'm thinking, and to see that it was shocking to me back to back. So after that, I'm talking to my sister-in-law and I'm like, I am going to find 8-year-old Sarah. Like she's in me. She's there. Oh, I'm going to find her. I start like, but where is she? How do I connect with her? And so I start writing every day, like just trying to find her, right? Then enters the Yummy Mommy experience, like literally landed. So going through this experience, we go back to the same lake house this summer. It is, and like, look, truly, from that time that I'm 11, nobody has ever seen my upper thighs. Nobody. Like, it is totally covered up. The top 6 inches of my upper thigh, we covered up. For life. Like if I'm going to be in anything, there is a skirt, there is a short, there is something. Nobody's going to.
I'm sure you probably haven't even seen it because I feel like we don't even look.
No, it's like I don't want to see that. In my mind, it's that way. So we're back at the same lake house, and I've been doing this experience for 2.5 months, the Yummy Mommy experience, and I'm like, I am going to come out in my swimsuit. 8-year-old Sarah, I'm so proud of me. I hate like, and it's not just my family. It is extended family, aunts and uncles and whatever. I come out in the exact same spot from those videos, fully just loving my body. And it was hilarious because since the top 6 inches of my thighs have not seen the sun for my decades, the tan lines were just crazy. It was like reflectors at the top of my leg. But I did it. I came out. I thought, it's like we had this big floating island in the lake. And it was like the awkwardness of trying to get up on one of those things. Everybody's around. And it's just like, I'm getting up on this thing. I'm in my swimsuit. I am just genuinely loving this moment. And guess what? I am not at my natural weight yet. I'm in the middle of the process experiencing these things. Before this, it was always like, oh, once you get to this weight, then that cover up's coming off. Then you're worthy to show the world your upper thighs or whatever. And it's like, no, because of the work that we did, because of the connection that I was able to make and just kind of free myself from myself, free out of thighs, like it was the exact same. So that full circle moment all happened because of this experience. Like, yes, I've lost the weight. Yes, it's great. Was it totally because of weight loss that I took off the cover up? No, because of the work that we do. Gosh, it's from one of the exercises that we did where I realized, like, if you were to ask me about bullying, I would say I am so against bullying. And one of the exercises that we did where I was looking at my past self, I had come for in this process. What did she need to hear? She needed to hear, I'm so sorry for being your biggest bully, for being your biggest shamer in your life. And that process was awesome because when you're writing it out, you're seeing it in black and white and like, oh my gosh, I'm the person who's like the meanest to myself. And so I was able to commit to myself from this moment forward. I am your biggest supporter. I am your biggest fan. And that's part of what brought this moment of like in my head before I'm coming out in my swimsuit with no cover up. It's just like, I'm in my head. You got this, Sarah. You look beautiful,
I'm just like sobbing over here. You found Sarah, 8-year-old Sarah.
I found her. I didn't know how. This was literally what was brought into my life, like me writing it down. I need to connect with that again, that just genuine love for myself, not worrying about what others think I look like.
So what is your experience like of you being with you now? Like now that you rock your bikini, now that you or your bathing suit, now that you love yourself, now that you're your biggest supporter, like what is that actually like on like a day-to-day basis?
So, first of all, it makes life so much easier when you are for yourself. It makes the day, I literally do have this supportive thought process as opposed to the negative. I mean, here's what life is like. So, literally for 35 years, like if I had some kind of treat, it was like, oh, that was wrong. That was bad. Now, shame, guilt, blah, blah. Here's all the things you have to do.
Yeah.
Here's what my day, what has freed up, just a little part of it. This is just a little example of the many things I could say. So it was my daughter's birthday. We always have them choose where they want to have their cake from. And my daughter chose like this amazing cupcake place. Like, oh my gosh, that's going to be my joy eat that day. So I did my protocol that day and everything, time for the cupcake. I am able to just sit. I mean, you call it a joy eat. I was able to sit and with joy have this cupcake.
Yeah.
And that was it. I didn't have to run 10 miles to have this cupcake. I didn't have to totally deprive myself down this cupcake. I didn't have to understand how many calories it was so it could fit into my thing and whatever. I was just able to have it. I'm not kidding. I thought about that cupcake like 4 days later, like that was good.
I used to eat the cupcake all the time, but I didn't even wait till I was done eating the cupcake to beat myself up. I was just beating myself while I was doing it. I never even enjoyed it in the first place.
While you were doing it.
Yeah.
Which is also this what I've been looking for. I was always looking around at other people like, how are you doing this? How are you eating that cupcake? And look at how small you are. How is this possible? I want that. And it's like, I have found that I've been given the tools, changing up. There's so much more than what you're eating here. And this is what the Yummy Mummy experience gives you. Yes, you go over eating. Balancing hunger hormones was like huge eye opener for me. I realized between you teaching us about hunger hormones and teaching us about sugar cravings, I realized I don't think I have literally felt hungry in like decades. I like literally haven't been truly hungry.
Yeah, like no true physical hunger, just hormonal hunger the whole time. Yeah.
It was hormonal. And so yes, you help with that part. But then, oh my gosh, there's all this baggage, all this stuff circling around the food that you just really help unlock. And that is the key to why you can say, this is for the last time. Because you helped me, and I saw it, and so many others in the group get to the root of the problem. It really isn't the food. Because so many days I'm like, before this, I'm like, I'm a foodaholic. I wish I didn't have to deal with food. Like I literally just didn't want to have it in my life. And I felt like if I just didn't have it and I have to eat, then I won't have these problems. And it's just like, you've shown me like I can enjoy, like now having that out of my brain of just like food is bad, food is wrong, food is your enemy. It's keeping you from the thing that you want, and just changing it to where I can enjoy my day, enjoy my food, and continue moving towards where I want to be. It's so exciting to think like I'm excited to see what my natural weight is.
Yeah, I love that everyone seems to have that same energy of like curiosity towards where they'll land on in terms of their natural weight. Like most of us, right? We have like an idea or a guess, but it just really felt palpable on that last call that we had as a group. And just in talking to you the other day, there's this curiosity. And then it's like married with inevitability. It's like you guys all just felt like it's as good as done, right? Like we're doing this, it's done.
Yeah. And before I would never feel so confident to say that, like, yeah, this is it. Yes, this is it. Like, this is what the answer was. This is what I've been searching for to just clean up everything, my thoughts around food.
Oh, that's so good, Sarah. This is so helpful. Is there anything else you want to share with us? I feel like we went deep and we heard the things, but I want to hear what you want to share or what you feel like the people, the moms.
Okay, there's several things. So one of them is just like I loved making the scale neutral. So this is so okay. So in this process, there are two abusive relationships I had in my life before this started, and none of them were people. They were not people. One of them was me. So I already talked about that I was my biggest bully and abusing myself mentally, emotionally, just like, why can't you get this together? Blah, blah, blah. The second abusive relationship in my life, total dysfunctional relationship, was the scale. Like I looked to the scale every morning to tell me, okay, Sarah, how are you going to feel about yourself today? You get on the scale and it's like, woo, oh my gosh, I'm down a pound. And you come out like, oh, wow, I mean, like slip on my jeans here. Like, I don't know, funny, you know? And it's just like, it told me, hey, this number equals your worth.
Yeah, you can have a good day today.
Yeah. It's just like, yeah, you can have a good day. You're down a pound. Hey,
Yeah.
good job. Then you get on the scale for no reason at all. You're up 2 pounds and you're like, oh my gosh, I am huge. And you put on like your frumpy clothes and like, I don't want to show, I just
Snap at your kids. You starve yourself for 4 hours and then you end up eating all the kids' snacks.
Yes, that's it exactly. Every morning, this thing in my bathroom was like, hey, I'm waiting to tell you how you're going to feel about yourself. Do you have self-worth today? I don't know. Step on me, see what the number is. And it is just like taking that. I mean, the scale, like also my weight was always like this big secret. I don't want anyone to know my weight. It was like the biggest secret in the world. And it was to where like my husband, he's 6'5". Our scale is in the corner of our bathroom. And I felt like he's so tall, he could like see way over into the mirror of like what the number is. So I'm always like, whenever I was weighing before this, I'm like, turn around, come out of the bathroom, And then it always took forever. Like you're waiting for the number to come off the scale before I'd let it come back in.
Oh my God.
What does it matter? He's like, I see you right now. You look great. What are you talking about? And so that has been like taking that and neutralizing the scale to where it is truly, truly just good information.
Yeah.
Just good information.
Yeah.
To have that taken, it's just, I don't feel like I can explain how much of the beating up was happening between my own self and this scale in my life. Those two things, like abusive relationships that are not even people, have been removed, neutralized. One, myself as a bully is now my biggest supporter, and the scale is now neutral. I don't care. My husband can be there. He can see my weight. It's not the biggest secret in the world anymore. Like if someone knew my weight, they'd realize, oh, you're really not worth anything. Like it really felt, I really attached that number to that.
To your worth. Yeah. And so many of us do. And that's why I love including weighing yourself as an option, right? Because it brings up so much drama, right? And I want the drama to come up. I wanted you to see how you did have an abusive relationship with the scale so that you could clean it up, so that you could take your power back, so that you're the one that's in charge of your worth.
Yeah.
Right. And knowing that just comes like from inside and never from something outside of you, never an external freaking mental block.
And yes. And that's another thing where the group was so great because it's optional. You don't have to put your weight in every day, but a lot of them did. And it was so helpful for me to see their weight loss and how it just goes down and then it goes back up a little bit. Like seeing everybody, that was everybody's journey. Because if I hadn't have seen that, the women who lost like 25 pounds, you think, oh, well, they just rocked it the whole time.
Yeah.
And they were on their protocol the whole time.
Yeah.
But when they're posting their times, when they're like, I'm having a hard time here, I've been eating a little bit off, there's the support there to help clean up the thoughts around that. And then you see their weight goes up and then goes back down. And you realize, oh my gosh, everybody, we're all having these same experiences. There's no like perfect, like somebody who got on, they started the Yummy Mummy, the protocol is perfect every day.
Yeah.
And their weight just went down and down and down, and then they were done. Like none of us.
Because that is diet culture, right? That doesn't work. I want you guys to be making quote unquote mistakes so that we can clean it up and heal it, like you said, at the root.
Yeah.
Like we have to see, I wonder why. With love, of course, but we really have to make those mistakes. And nobody loses weight I say this all the time, but like nobody loses weight for the last time, just in one straight, like you're saying, trajectory downward line. It's always 2 steps forward, 1 step back. It just always is. Even if, which I don't want this to be my client, I don't want this to happen. Even if you ate quote unquote 100% on your protocol, you still will do 2 steps forward, 1 step back on the scale. Your graph will still look up and down, but overall, you'll be losing weight for the last time.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, what else? You had some more things you had.
Okay. So another thing is I just realized how much I was using like food as the answer for so many things. Or like better way to put it is probably I am now very in touch with my emotions. And so a good example is like we had family coming in town. And so I'm trying to get the house all ready. Like everyone's going to come and stay with us. And I'm like trying to get the sheets clean and all that. My kids, I feel like their goal is totally against me to keep the house clean. Like they're just like entirely messing up. Their goal is to mess up the house. And I'm trying to get it clean for all these guests. So it's like I had been doing well on my protocol day after day after day. And all of a sudden, boom, that day, it's like, I need a bag of chips. I need a bag of chips right now. Or then later on, it was like, the ice cream sounds really good right now. And that day, I was so proud of myself because of what I had learned from the group. I was able to stop and say, hey, what's really happening right now? I have not felt like chips like this for a long time. So what is really happening? Well, if I really think about it, I'm feeling crazy stressed right now. And if I'm honest, I don't want to feel crazy stressed right now. And I feel like these chips are going to push it all down, Yeah. And so that's absolutely what I would have done in the past is trying to clean the house, eating the chips, just like feeling stressed, okay, push it down, have some ice cream. And then you end the day feeling like crap because you've eaten junk food and you feel like crap because you didn't want to eat that way. You're shaming yourself. You should have done that. And so I was able to stop and say, okay, Sarah, validate. Of course you feel stressed right now. Of course, like that's pretty normal. You have a lot of people coming to stay. It's summertime and your kids think they need to make snacks every 5 minutes and they just like pull everything out and get peanut butter all over whatever. And so it's like, of course, what you're feeling stressed, not wanting to feel stressed is pretty valid. So what should we do about this? And I was able to come up with a very realistic plan of like, here's how clean the house can be before people come. And it was very clean, but it wasn't like perfection,
Yeah.
And then the other thing was, what's going to help you not feel stressed? And for me, it was if I can, at the end of the day, have a bath where it is 1 hour where I told my husband, I don't want any kids knocking on this door. Not one emergency, not one person knocking, Mom, like, what are you doing there? Take time for yourself. If I like having that thought in my mind of like, here's what I'm going to do. Here's what I'm going to give myself. What really will help me? Nice Epsom salt bath, listen to an amazing podcast, and just ask that no one knock on the door for an hour. And that got me through the day. And I ended the day so proud of myself.
Yes, exactly. Because it's a net positive, right? You took action in a way that was going to create a net positive for you instead of eating the chips, which was ultimately going to probably cause you more stress.
Cause way more stress because now I'm putting on it the guilt, the shame of eating chips
on
top of trying to. And so that absolutely is something that came from this experience. Just being able to sit, here's something funny, just like being able to sit and connect with my emotions. It's been a little funny realizing like, oh, I didn't realize that makes me anxious. Like, I like my feelings so much that I didn't realize this experience actually makes me feel a little anxious. Let's deal with the root. Why are you feeling anxious about this? But instead, I have it. So talk about not feeling hunger for decades. I don't think I've been truly feeling my emotions and dealing with them correctly, allowing them to then be solved and move through me,
Yeah.
So that's
Oh, that's like so huge. Like, I really feel like emotional eating is subtler than our culture talks about or the world talks about. It's very, very subtle. A lot of us actually are eating for emotional reasons and we don't even realize it. Some of us know we're emotional eaters, but like, I don't really think I knew I was an emotional eater because I mean, I did eventually when I healed this for myself, but I would eat because I'm like bored or just a little stressed. It wasn't like the most craziest day ever. And then I would eat like 4 pints of ice cream, right? It's like little pick here, a little pick here.
exactly.
Yeah. Oh, that's so good. Okay, what else?
Gosh.
Oh, tell us, I know. Tell us this is me tooting my own horn a little bit, but
I want to do it. Is it kind of like what I said at the end?
yes, I want to hear the Glenda story.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
Tell us. That made me cry.
This is not you. Like, this is not you tooting your own horn. It is honestly just the truth. It's how I felt. So we all had our like last Zoom call and just kind of like congratulating everybody going through this experience. And this is really how I felt. Like, have been searching for so long for this answer. Like, where is it? And then I feel like you appeared in my life, like Glinda the Good Witch from The Wizard of Oz. And it's so similar where Dorothy needs help finding her way. She needs to get back home. She's not sure how to do it. Glinda is showing her the way. But in the end, when it's time for Dorothy to go home, Glinda says to Dorothy, "You've always had the power, my dear. You just had to learn it for yourself." And that is what has happened. Like, I needed you initially to show, like, pointing the way, getting me on the yellow brick road. Like, that's the path I'm literally on right now. The path I was on before, this is the path I was on before. My daughter has a hamster. This hamster has a little wheel. This hamster, she runs her heart out every night, all night long. She's on this little wheel, she's going, going, going. And it's like stationary, never going to go anywhere. That is the path that I was on. It was constant. Oh, okay, let me just jump on this wheel. I'm going to go do it. It was getting me nowhere.
Yeah.
You appeared in my life, showed me the way. Truly, it's like the yellow brick road.
Yeah.
Down there. But then in the end, it's like,
It's you. It's really not me tuning your own horn because it really is you that did it.
you helped unlock that in me, this power that I just haven't been connected to in so long. This self-worth that I haven't felt in so long. This sense of belonging and like, I am lovable now. I am like perfect now.
Guys.
Yeah, I'm going to keep going and I'm excited to see where I land in my natural weight. But that doesn't mean right now I can't love myself and enjoy my body for what it is right now. So I remember, so I found this podcast in April. In April, just April of this year, I come across this podcast. Then it's like, oh my gosh, this lady is speaking my language. I binge listened to it, like all of it. And I remember there was a client of yours on there who had lost 23 pounds. And now she was on your podcast. And it was like, oh my gosh, like how cool is that? I joined in May and I have that same experience.
Now that's her.
Like, it's just like, and that was just April. Like,
So much can change in such a short period of time. Not in 30 days. You guys listen to that podcast, right? Not in 30 days, but like, come on. That was just like a snap of your fingers in the grand scheme of your life.
it was so small. The financial investment, so tiny. If I were to add up this list of everything, every single diet and every single like packaged meal coming to my house, it's like 10 times zero.
And how much you would have continued to spend trying to solve this
If it wasn't for
on the hamster wheel.
Yep. So it's the food part. That's it. That's all it was doing with that part. This is so much more well-rounded in just getting to the root of the food part.
Yeah, 100%. Oh, I'm so excited for you. This is so cool. I'm so excited to see what you're going to create too, not just with your weight and your body and that, but your whole life. It's going to be so cool.
But
Okay, anything else?
I would want to say this to anybody who's just trying to decide if this is something for them. I just remember being there. And as women, we have a hard time putting ourselves first. And I would just say, like, in anything in this podcast or any podcast of yours, any like Instagram post has really spoken to someone, like, this is your group and your time. You've found it. You just have to make the choice that you are worthy of this. You're worthy of the time and the effort that it's going to take, and also the financial cost of it. It's so easy for us to spend money on somebody else. Like my daughter, she started having severe anxiety in high school to where it really did start affecting her day to day. And so for me as a parent, it was like, of course, we are going to take you to get you all the help you need. And we weren't going to wait until after a holiday. We weren't going to wait until after we had vacation, like to show like this is a priority. We took her right away and we did everything. I mean, the psychologist and psychiatrist, but also nutrition, gut health. I mean, we attacked it on every level. And what I would say is that year, our financial statements showed it that that was a priority in our lives to help our daughter get the help she needed through her anxiety.
Just gives me the chills.
Yes. Like even my son went on this backpacking trip for 3 days with this group of boys, there's leaders, whatever. And I mean, it was a legit backpacking trip where it's like bring your own toilet paper. Like this is not going to be, it's going to be hard. You're bringing your own food, all of it. So we don't have all these, we're not hikers, we don't have all these backpacking supplies, whatever. And so we went to the sporting goods store. We dropped $700 because I want to make sure my son up on the mountain has the right backpack, the right rain gear, the right boots, the right food. Like that was, it didn't even, I didn't even question it. But then I was thinking afterwards, if I was the one going on this trip, I would have gone and suffered. I would have brought a little blanket, like an umbrella, like whatever I could find around the house. Like, oh, I don't want to spend $700 on me so I can be comfortable on this trip. But when it was my son, of course, I want to make sure you have everything you need.
Yeah.
What I would say is it is time to spend the time and the effort and the money on you. You are worth it. And what you will have going through this experience is, first of all, Laura, who is amazing. I was thinking, I feel like I'm just like one huge run on sentence, but
I would cut you off if I thought that all this was rambling, but it's not. You're giving us so much gold. And I know everybody who's listening is like, tell us more. Don't cut her off.
So like we're getting you, like truly, Laura, this is a gift of yours. It's a gift to help women sort through just all of their thoughts and emotions around body image, around eating, around food. I remember there was a discussion with it in our group of like, what do you say when somebody asks you what you're doing? And one of the girls was like, I literally say, I found a coach who's magical and like is helping me with my life. And it was like, yeah. Or I remember another, like it was on a Zoom call and one of the ladies was talking about just kind of her hardships that she had had coming up to this experience. And then she was like, and then Laura, I don't know where you came from in my life, but this was the answer to like what she was needing.
Yeah.
And I think all of us could feel that way. Like, so what we're getting is, you know, what you're getting when you're signing up is truly you.
If you've been someone who hasn't spent money or invested in themselves in this way, you get an automatic upgrade. Like you don't even have to do the yummy mummy to get value. There's a value in spending money on yourself in that moment that you do make that investment. And then I just think part of my mission is, can we end generational diet drama? But I also think like it's really cool. Like your daughters are not going to be 9 years old going into Weight Watchers. They're going to be their 8-year-old selves the rest of their lives. Of course, there's going to be, you know, the cultural norms and all that, but you're just so much better equipped. And when we show our kids that we spend money on ourselves or we spend time on ourselves, that's just like a triple whammy then, right? It's like now we're passing down even more gold to our kids to show them, hey, look, like we're at the top of our priority list. I don't want my yummy mummies to do this for their kids, but sometimes we have to do this for our kids so that we can really see that it's okay to do it for ourselves, right? Like I really think it's amazing. I think the best reason to do something like this is just for you. But if you have to piggyback on like, oh, I'm going to do it for my kids, that's fine too.
When I was trying to decide to go into Yummy Mummy or not to join, you said, you're going to lose weight and you're going to be able to do this because you said, I believe in you and I have the confidence in you and I'll be supporting you. And you can use that until you feel it for yourself. And that is exactly what happened. Every time you were just like, this is inevitable. You're going to do this. Like the first time you're like, I don't know. I mean,
everybody comes with all their disbelief and their doubt. I mean, I was the same way. Like, really? Have I really have had this for myself for the last time? Yeah. And I love that concept of, I can just borrow your money. That's so cool. It's so fun. I do it all the time with like my husband. He'll like say something in passing about like me helping a million yummy mummies, right? He'll just say something like about its inevitability. And I'm like, I'm just going to take that. I'm going to just borrow your thought or your belief in me and this business and adapt until I can really get there.
I believe it because when something is so good and so true and so right, it naturally, organically spreads. It's selling itself in a way just because it really and truly is the answer.
You're going to help me do it. You already are by being on this podcast. I'm so, so, so grateful to you that you came on this podcast. I really cannot thank you enough. You are such a gift, and you sharing your journey is so much more powerful than me sharing my journey for like, the upteenth time over here. So I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
What did you guys think of the best of? It's so good, right? All right. So if this resonated with you, get on over to lauraconley.com, click work with me, and get yourself signed up for the Yummy Mummy experience. If you just have an inkling that this is the right thing for you, trust your gut. You've tried all of the other things that don't work. Try the new and different thing. Stop doing the same thing and expecting a different result. This is new and different because we work on your mindset. If you feel like you know all the things and you just can't get yourself to do them, the reason why is because you haven't changed your brain. You haven't worked on your mindset. And that's exactly what we do inside the Yummy Mummy. Love you. Have the best day ever. Ciao, ciao. Hey, if you've enjoyed listening to this podcast, I would love it if you leave a rate, review, and a subscribe on whatever you're listening to this podcast in. Pretty pleased with a cherry on top. It would help me so much, and it would help all the other mamas out there hear this message. Thank you in advance. I really appreciate it. And you have to come check out the Yummy Mummy experience. It's my proven lose weight for the last time group coaching and course. Head to lauraconley.com and just click work with me. Other than that, you guys, I would love to give you a free gift. If you want your free listener only gift, go to lauraconley.com/gift. And from there, you will get your free best ever weight loss hack. So cool. The last thing I want to tell you, you guys, is I do have a free Facebook group. It's called, you guessed it, the Yummy Mummy. Lose weight for the last time, end body drama, and get food freedom. You can just search that on Facebook, or again, you can head to the show notes and you'll find the link there. All right, you guys, have the best day ever.